And more than 80 million Americans have already cast their votes early. Millions more are heading to the polls today. ABC News legal contributor and trial attorney Brian Buckmire joins me now for more on what we should know about our rights as we head to the polls. So, Brian, there's a lot of misinformation out there about voting. So let's just break down the basics here. Who can vote, who cannot vote, and what should people know as they head to the polls?
So, Dan, who can vote is a simple list of United States citizens who are registered to vote above the age of 18. And depending on what state you're in, you can either not be serving or not convicted of a felony. There are certain ways that your voting right can be stripped away from you, like a felony conviction or being found incompetent by some sort of court or judge. And then, of course, people who cannot vote would be anyone else. When we talk about voting, we're talking about the ability to legally vote.
So what if a poll worker says your name's not on the list of registered voters?
Yeah, so a number of things. Before you go to the polls, I would say to double check to make sure you're registered, make sure that all information is correct, your name, address, what county you're in. But if you do get to a point where a poll worker is saying you cannot vote, ask for what's called a provisional vote or provisional ballot. In New York, I think they call it an affidavit instead. That's a form of ballot that you can use to vote, and there will be an investigation following up to ensure that you're properly registered. And if you are, that vote will apply. If it's not, then the investigation will continue.
Brian, if you show up to your polling station right before it closes and there's a line, can you be turned away because you didn't actually make it into the polling station in time?
So we've seen some legislation and as well as, let's say some court cases where this has occurred. And if you are one of those groups of people that I said, U.S. citizen, registered, and all the proper criteria to ensure that you can vote, and you are asked to step out of the line, as an attorney, I would say politely ask that you have the ability to remain in line. Of course, if it's an issue of timing or whatever their excuse can be, still try to stay in line. If it gets to a point where you feel either your own safety or the safety of others an issue, again, ask for that provisional ballot, check the time, make sure that you're there accordingly, and try to vote as best as you can.
All right, ABC News legal contributor Brian Buckmire, thank you.